Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something all of us children experience almost every day: learning. But not just learning from books or homework. I want to talk about why we learn and what really motivates us to do the right thing. So, before I begin, let me ask a question to the audience. How many of you have heard or said this before? Finish your homework and then you can have chocolate. Or clean your room first if you want to go out and play. Or maybe if you score well in your exams, we will buy you that new toy. And parents sitting in the audience. I'm pretty sure some of you have said these things too. And honestly, does it work? Yes, almost every time, right? This is called reward based learning. When we get a reward for doing something, our brain starts connecting that task with happiness. Sometimes we think, if I do this, then I will get something nice in return. So we naturally repeat the behavior. I remember when I was younger, my teacher used to put a little star sticker on my hand if I behaved well in class. I still remember how proudly I walked around showing everyone that sticker. It wasn't just a sticker anymore. It felt like I had achieved something really big. Even today, when we receive good remarks, stickers, badges, prizes, or awards, it feels amazing. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, rewards encourage us. They help us build good habits. One night, my parents were reading a book to me and my sister called Gita for Children by Rupa Pai. They read one line from the Bhagavad Gita that completely confused me. Karmanye vadhikaraste phaleshu kadachana. It means you only have the rights to perform your duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits of your action. Honestly, I had absolutely no idea what that meant. My parents explained me that we should focus only on doing our job, duty, and what's right, and not expect any reward or recognition in return. I remember staring at my parents and thinking, wait, what? If I shouldn't expect rewards, then why should I work hard? If nobody appreciates me, then why should I even try? Around the same time, my sister received an award for doing really well in her exams. As I watched her walk onto stage and people clapping for her, I quietly told myself that I want to be on that stage too to receive an award. And so I will work harder this year. But then, this shlok is saying that I shouldn't expect rewards. Then why should I work hard? Now I was even more confused. My parents patiently again tried explaining it to me. They said, study because learning is your responsibility. Becoming a better person is also your responsibility. Awards may come or they may not, but your duty remains the same. Then, they told me something that I'd never thought about before. They said if I focused only on getting an award, I may stop enjoying the learning itself. And if I do not get the award, I may feel like all my hard work was wasted. But they also said if I focused only on learning, then nobody can take that away from me. At first, I didn't completely understand it. Again, it sounded nice, but it was difficult to actually believe. Then, a few small incidents slowly changed my thinking. One day, during lunch break, One of my classmates couldn't open his tiffin box. He kept trying and trying, but the lid simply just wouldn't open. I realized he might end up not eating his lunch at all. So I decided to share my tiffin with him. No one announced my name, no one told me to, no teacher forced me to. I simply did what the right thing was. A few days later, during our final exams, guess what happened with me? I realized I had forgotten my pencil box at home. I was scared and I panicked. My heart started beating faster. I imagined explaining everything to the teacher. Will be embarrassing. Before I could even think properly, one of my classmates took out his extra pencil and placed it on my desk. He didn't say anything, he didn't expect anything. All he did was smile. That's when I realized how much a small act of kindness can bring such a big difference. Then, something happened with my sister that made me understand the shlok even more deeply. She had scored full marks in one of her papers. But while checking her answer sheet, she noticed that the teacher had missed one spelling mistake. She could have easily stayed quiet. Nobody would have ever known. She would have kept her full marks. But she went to the teacher and pointed out the mistake herself. And because of that, she lost half a mark. That day, she came home slightly disappointed, but also strangely peaceful because she knew she had done the right thing. Now, all these three incidents explain what the shlok means. I didn't have to share my tiffin with my friend.
And I'll need the clicker,
My
right?
friend didn't have to lend me his extra pencil. My sister didn't have to give up half a mark.
Okay, one second.
Yet all
Let's
of us
go
did
from the
what we believed was the
back.
right thing to do. Not because of rewards, not
But so
because
far-
of fear, not because someone was watching
Good, I
us.
think. Yeah, maybe some water.
Simply because it was the right thing to
Is
do.
okay?
The shlok finally started making sense to me. Don't do things because you only want a good outcome or because you fear a bad outcome. Do it because it is the right thing to do. And if I apply the same equation to my studies, then what Gita is telling me, I should study hard because learning is my responsibility. Becoming a better person is also my responsibility. Becoming wiser is also my responsibility. And it's not that my parents will buy me gifts if I did study, and my teachers will be unhappy with me if I did not study, or I am just studying because I want a prize. Now, if you are expecting me to say that I finally figured it out and I now follow this lesson every time and everywhere, then let me disappoint you. I'm still learning. Sometimes I want rewards. Sometimes I complain before finishing my homework. Sometimes my parents have to remind me more than once. Changing the way we think clearly doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, and that's perfectly okay. My father came up with a simple and fun method that really helps me. He calls it the traffic signal method. Here's how it works. Red signal means stop. Pause, but don't react immediately. Whether I'm about to argue with my sister, or avoid doing homework, or ignore someone who needs help, I should first stop. Yellow signal means slow down. This signal is to remind me to ask myself one simple question. What is the right thing to do? Not what gives me the biggest reward, Not what is the easiest thing to do, just what is the right thing to do. Then comes the best part. Green signal means go. Once you know you're doing the right thing, go for it. Even if it's boring, even if it's difficult, even if nobody notices, even if nobody claps. Because doing the right thing slowly becomes a habit, and our habits slowly become our character. So, now whenever I see a road or traffic signal now, I don't just think about cars and roads. I think about my choices. Maybe all of us have our own traffic signals inside us. A little voice that tells us to stop, think, and then choose wisely. So, let's not be in the hurry to grow up fast. Instead, let's build ourselves to last. Let's become the people who don't just work for rewards, but who do the right thing because that's who they are. Maybe that's how we truly turn the turn in the way we learn. I hope you join me on this journey because I think it's the right thing to do. Thank you.